So there are two new orbs on this update, and Prey Orb is one of that. As you guys can see, I haven't even gotten it. Actually, I'm just gonna click it, and there we go, guys. I just got the newest snake eyes looking orb, Prey Orb. As far as I know, it's gonna be for everyone. So it's been a while since we actually got an orb for everyone. I believe that there are only like a handful amount of orbs that we can, use for everyone, like Cost Orb, the Fire Rage Orb, and also the Range Orb. And most of them, guys, are still being used up until to this date. So I'm so excited to see what does this Prey Orb will do, especially on the leaderboard. So you guys can see the stats will be initial range plus 10%, cost will be minus $50, initial damage placement will also be an additional 15%. So basically, guys, it's gonna be kind of like a Walmart version of, like all of those orbs that we had. So the Cost Orb gives 100 and the Prey Orb gives half of that. Fire Rage Orb, spawn damage will be 100%. Actually, it's more of a Bombo Orb because the damage boost will be like 30%. And also the Range Orb, because it also gives range. Range gives 30, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, as you guys can see, 30%. So basically, the Prey Orb will actually a combination of all of those, but at a maximum of half of the stats that it will give. But anyway, guys, let's hop into the training mode and let's see what will be the effect of this orb on those really big guns here in ASTD. Anyway, let's go. You know what, guys, I just thought about it. I think here in the training mode, they should allow us to change the orbs inside the game instead of us, kind of like leaving and re-equipping all of those orbs that we want to use. But anyway, guys, we're going to start us off with the freshest big gun here in ASTD. It's going to be the 6-star Aqua Goku. And as you guys can see, placement is actually a little bit cheaper. It's also going to be easy to use this orb because just like the way how we use our Bombo Orb to our Irwin, Bombo Orb is being used, it's just because a weaker version of the Fire Rage Orb. And as you guys can see, this is now the max stats of our Goku Aqua together with the newest orb. So from, what is the max damage? I mean, as per ASTD Wiki, his damage will be at 3,071,310. And this is basically almost the same. Look at that, 3,071,873, because the damage boost is only about the placement, which is this one. So this 4,315.7 damage that you can see is already boosted, and that's the only thing that will be boosted if you're going to use this orb. And based on this picture, you can already see it, guys, that originally his damage will only be at 3,752.78. Nothing really much, right? But I think that the main issue about this orb is it is way too low. Like 50% of those really good and main orbs that we are using, it's just way too low. I think the 80% could have been a lot better, so that at least it will make us question whether to use it to this unit or that. But anyway, for the range, guys, from 160, it's now at 163. Maybe you will be asking why, because it gives like 15%, right? The problem is it's only about the placement range, not like the full range. So as you guys can see, 33 range will be his new range at placement, and originally on this picture you can see that the range is only 30. So that's the reason why this orb is not that bad, but definitely not something that will be a game changer. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, guys, we're back, and this time it's now going to be about Mihawk plus the Prey Orb. By the way, we are not going to use every single big guns here on ASTD, but I'm just trying to show you guys my point that this orb is just a Walmart orb. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to have like a massive effect, especially on infinite mode run, because on infinite mode run you just get all of those money that you need. So as you guys can see, initial stats of this Mihawk level 175 will be 12,316.5, and based on ASTD Wiki, a level 175 Mihawk without this orb will only damage 10,710. So you can already see, guys, that the percentage boost is actually working more when the base stats is actually bigger. Obviously, I mean, I'm not a math wizard, but if it's gonna be bigger, then the additional will also be bigger. So from 10,000 to 12,000, so that's gonna be like an additional 1 point something K. And also for the range, Mihawk's range will be 50. If you guys remember, Goku's range was 30 and it became 33, but for Mihawk, it's gonna be an additional 5 range. So this is where the orb is actually shining. You know what I'm saying? On those units that has a massive damage and also range when it comes to initial placement, because it is by percentage. For the amount of the money that you have to pay, however, it's not really going to affect that much. You can just see 10,525, but it's actually only costing you like 10,495. So for Goku earlier, it was only like 450 because the deduction is not reflecting here in this number, kind of like the cost orb. Look at that, guys. 500 is the original placement of our Speedwagon, even though he got like the cost orb. Now that I finished explaining to you guys why Prey Orb is not really going to be that much of an effect on the leaderboard meta units, we are now going to go for those story mode meta units. As you guys can see, I am equipping my Prey Orb to Oryu, and as you guys can see in its base stats together with the orb, 3,448.62 will be his new damage. SPA didn't change, obviously. Range will be 71.5. This is the initial stats of a level 175 Oryu without any orb, guys. So 2,998. And if you guys can see, that's going to be an additional almost 500 additional damage, actually 440 plus. For the range, it's a lot, like 6.5 additional range from 65 to 71.5. But the problem is, guys, whenever we're using Oryu, normally we are using Fire Rage Orb, because the Fire Rage Orb literally doubles the amount of damage for the initial placement of Oryu, and that's also the reason why it's really a very good thing to use, especially on story mode, because that makes Oryu really deadly against those, early mobs. And I think that most of the time that would even allow you to farm all the way up. But again, guys, this is up for argument, I guess, because even though Oryu is damaging like 3.4k, his range is now bigger. But like what I've said, guys, it is up for argument whether you wanted to have an Oryu that hits lesser but the range is bigger, or probably an Oryu that hits more damage but the range is just its normal one. So that's also the reason why I really hate this orb, because of how low it is. So this is my go-to story mode meta setup. As you guys can see, cost orb will be equipped by Speedwagon, range orb will be for our Tengen, Bomba orb will be for our Erwin, which I already explained to you guys that you don't really need an orb for Erwin just to be able to reach the max buff. All you need is just to upgrade your Erwin, and rage orb will be on our Oryu. So there will be like 2 units without any orbs, so it will either go to Blackbeard or probably our Bull Mama. Obviously, if we're gonna replace Bomba orb to Erwin, probably give it to Blackbeard, it will not make any change. That'll be another thing to argue with, because it's kind of like an option of either having a Blackbeard 6-star that has more range, because you don't really need the damage for our Blackbeard 6-star, or probably a cheaper farm, which I think that if you actually know how things work here in ASDD, definitely a cheaper placement for farm. And that's also the reason why cost orb is really a very good orb. That would really help you guys in a long run because of the cycle of the money. So the conclusion, guys, Prey Orb, as much as I don't want to say it, even though it gives initial damage, even though it gives initial range, the cost is the best thing that we can actually get from this Prey Orb. So if you're running with 2 farms, which most likely you will in every game mode, not only in story mode, but also in infinite mode, that's the best deal that you can get. Because like what I've said, guys, it's always about the rotation of the money. There will be some waves that you cannot upgrade something because you're lacking just a tad bit more. And that minus $50 for the cash placement for your second farm might actually be the game changer. It will not change a lot if we're going to put it on your Blackbeard, because as you guys can see, Blackbeard's range is only 28, and it's only going to be like probably +3 or even +2 additional range, and that is very minimal. Again, it could have been a lot better, and in fact, I think that it's a missed opportunity for us to have like a new main orb. But the fact that you can use it on every single unit, I think it's a very good orb to have, as a secondary orb. It's not going to be a big change on story mode or probably on infinite mode, but at least it's something that we can use in every type of unit. And who knows, guys, maybe in the future we might actually need to use it on a particular unit, kind of like for a certain strategy. I'm not really sure. So yeah, that is the Walmart orb. I will understand if any one of you will disagree. We all have different kind of opinions, so use the comment section for that one. And as always, I'll see you guys again in the next one. Stay cool, guys, and peace out.